In camps in Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, from where Zaina Khodr now reports.
In the midst of war, a generation grew up in exile. At least 1 million children have been born since 2011, when Syria's peaceful uprising began, before it turned into war. Home for many has been informal camps like this in neighboring countries. In Lebanon's Bekaa Valley, life has been one of poverty and uncertainty.
There are around 200 children under the age of 10 in this camp, boys and girls, whose lives have been destroyed. Their future is nothing.
More than 13 million Syrians, that's half the pre-war population, remain displaced inside and outside the country. Nearly 900,000 are registered in Lebanon, the highest number in the world relative to its population. And as the conflict enters its second decade with no political settlement in sight, there could be further displacement.
We will likely see at least 6 million more displacements of people inside Syria because of a lack of access to basic services and deteriorating economic conditions. So this is largely driven by economic drivers, which is actually new.
Syria's economy is collapsing, and international aid organizations are warning it is pushing millions deeper into poverty. Many are jobless and hungry. The United Nations says 60%, or 12.4 million Syrians, don't have regular access to enough food. But economic uncertainty is not the only challenge. There are those who fear for their safety in the absence of a political settlement. Some are vulnerable where they are and need protection, like resettling them in a safe country.
About 570,000 Syrian refugees needed to be resettled to a third country. However, only 9,000 and about 300 refugees departed these countries to another country for resettlement. This is a very low number considering the needs.
Despite the battlefield being largely quiet for a year, aid agencies say the daily suffering of Syrians is worse than it has been at nearly any point throughout the conflict, and the hardship has not stopped at Syria's borders.
Our life has been reduced to this. In Syria, they're waiting for a box of aid, and here we're waiting for our box of aid. We lost hope of going back.
For those who have already lost so much, it may be a long wait for political change in Damascus or for humanitarian conditions to improve to allow them to return home.